Welcome back to the News at 10. Mona School, Difference Academy and Faith Heritage Gold Schools have emerged top 3 winners of the 2019 Born Vita Born Factor School Talent Competition organized by Cadbury Nigeria PLC, beg your pardon. The winners also received cash prizes of 3 million naira, 2 million naira and 1 million naira to deliver a developmental project of choice in their respective schools.
It's the prize presentation ceremony of the Cadbury Born Vita Born Factor School Talent Competition, a platform created for pupils to showcase their talents and win fantastic prizes. The senior category manager, Cocoa Beverages West Africa, Ifeoma Chuks Adizwe, takes the audience through the participation and selection process.
You would collect empty sachets of Born Vita. And for every 50,000 points, now every SKU had its unique points system, which we shared with the schools. It wasn't just about the schools and the children, but those top 5 schools, we actually had their Born Vita sponsored their end-of-year party. And also teaching, I think there's a lot we can learn as Nigerians in terms of loving each other. And so each of those schools also had their own nominated orphanage, and the children from that orphanage, the school's orphanage, nominated orphanage, were also at the party.
After a few months of keen contest, the competition produces the top 3 finalists.
We started this competition by getting empty cans to get to 50,000 points. And then our children, normally at the end of the month in our school, we always have a presentation. So children always have opportunities to showcase their talents in drama, singing. So what we did was just pick up one of such activities and say this will be nice for the Born Factor competition.
For Cadbury, the competition is key to achieving the major goal of rewarding consumers.
Beyond the prize that the schools win, there's also something we give. The schools have nominated their own charities, and we will be giving the schools something to give to their charities on top of the prizes of one. Born Factor is just ensuring one, obviously, we want something in it for us and something in it for them.
Driven by their mantra to keep going and never give up, Cadbury Born Vita says it will not relent its efforts to impact lives through various laudable projects and initiatives.
Here's Bisi Adebayo now with the day's major business stories.
Thank you, Amarachi. About $10 billion of taxes being lost through illicit profit diversion by multinational corporations operating in Nigeria, and that's according to the Federal Inland Revenue Service. In a bid to block the leakages and other identified tax avoidance schemes by individuals and corporate organizations, the chairman of the FIRS, Mr. Mohammed Nami, says the agency has launched a comprehensive ongoing tax collection reform process. At the same time, Mr. Nami explains that the agency is targeting about 8.5 trillion naira in revenue this year, which include an oil tax of 3.7 trillion naira and non-oil taxes target of 4.8 trillion naira. The FIRS chief also mentions that the tax agency will contribute its support in moving the country up on the ease of doing business ranking. Flour Mills of Nigeria has given 5 3-ton trucks to its top 5 customers as rewards for their contribution to the company's growth. At the truck presentation ceremony in Lagos, the managing director Foods of Flour Mills of Nigeria said the company is incorporating these customers into its primary distribution chain as a recognition for their immense contribution to the company.
Rewarding loyalty and stepping up the business game is high on Flour Mills of Nigeria's priority for 2020. Here within its courts, 5 30-ton trucks are to be handed out to 5 top customers. As the food company celebrates its 60th year milestone in 2020, creating and sustaining enduring partnerships is important.
In 2020, we'll turn 60. and we wanted to involve them and deepen the partnership by getting involved in primary distribution. So really working with us as partners, moving the products to the customers, be they the bigger ones or the smaller ones, and we think there's no better way of doing it than this.
These are customers who will do, revenue that they deliver to the businesses in excess of $1 billion, and so that's, looking at it from on a year-to-year basis. So it's actually looking at people who have high stakes in the business.
Now the trucks are given to each of the 5. For this group, this action is a promise kept, one promise that will deepen market visibility and revenue.
It's going to help us in the delivery of our products, and which means it's going to increase the availability of products for us, and also in a way it has it's going to have an effect on the visibility of FMM products even in the marketplace.
This truck is given to us to limit our problem we face in logistics, in moving our goods from one place to another. Now with these trucks, it will be easier for us to move our products and be able to sell more.
FMN's interest in becoming the nation's leading food business company is propelled by investment in agriculture, livestock feed, and pasta manufacturing.
Now, the only gain recorded at the equities market this week is short-lived after renewed profit-taking on high-value lenders hits the all-share index by a wider margin. Teniola Shobowale tells us more.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. After recording its lone rebound in 8 sessions, the stock market reversed to negative territory in Friday's session, ending the first trading week in February in the red by 0.26%. This comes after investors took advantage of the massive gain recorded from high-value bank stocks, and that added to the 1.22% drop on the sub-index. However, in spite of the downturn, the equity cap added 121 billion naira, all thanks to the additional listing of 2.26 billion ordinary shares of Abe Mortgage Bank. Total volume of deals traded today were higher compared to Thursday's session at 303.93 million shares, worth 6.38 billion naira, change hands in over 4,200 deals. Shares of GT Bank were the most traded today, with 76.79 million shares valued at 2.26 billion naira. Japoil Oil gained the most by 10%, while Trans-Nationwide Express lost the most by 10%. And that's the Stock Market Report. I'm Teniola Shobowale.
And that's it on Business News. It's back to you, Amarachi.
Thanks a lot, Bissy. The Minister of Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, has thrown his weight behind the restriction of motorcycles and tricycles in Lagos. Mr. Fashola, who was the governor of the state when the law was first passed, advised residents to support the renewed enforcement of the restriction in the affected local government areas. The minister says he's more concerned about the security implication of not enforcing the law compared to the distress currently experienced by the restriction. He said this at a public lecture organized by the United Action for Change in Lagos.
For those of you who are concerned about security, get behind your governor in Lagos State on this decision that he has taken. I do not dismiss the concerns that have been raised on the other side. But the point must be made that is a trade-off between our inconvenience and our existence. Do you want to be a victim? Because if you walk a few kilometers extra, and that shouldn't be the case, but you will still likely be alive. I know that work is going on the trains. I know that ferry lines are being restored. I know it will take some time.
health matters now. Hypo Hygiene Products Limited, makers of Hypo Bleach, have organized a campaign and sensitization program against the outbreak of Lassa fever in Ukearing market area of Lagos State. The campaign, targeted at market men and women, is an avenue to encourage traders to imbibe the culture of proper hygiene and sanitation practices to guard against infectious diseases.
This is what a typical day in Ukearing market looks like. While many of the market men and women here may not have the time to stay updated with news and current affairs, Hypo Bleach decides to take this sensitization campaign against Lassa fever to them. First, they begin with an awareness walk. Then they settle the traders down for a talk.
Today, in collaboration with NCDC, Hypo, Tolerant Group, makers of Hypo Bleach, in collaboration with Nigerian Center for Disease Control, I've come here today to sensitize the public about what to do to stop Lassa fever from spreading and ways to prevent Lassa fever. In addition to that, we've also come to promote hygienic practices and tell people the simple things they can do within the home to prevent outbreak of diseases.
The traders are happy with the campaign.
It's very good they bring it here. As they are doing here, they're supposed to take it out to other places. So every one of us be more educated and know the importance of Hypo. Sure, you understand? When you use your hand for anything, you can use Hypo to clean your hand so that all those so-called diseases will not enter your house. So you have to use Hypo. So first of all, protect it against dirty something in the house.
Lassa fever is an acute viral hemorrhagic illness transmitted through contact with food items contaminated by rodent excrete, and the organizers advise that using Hypo Bleach as a cleaning agent can help prevent the traders and their families from infectious viral diseases.